Good morning and welcome to the Morning Scoop for Tuesday, June 29th. This is your Daily Buckeye Fix. I'm Tom Orr. The Minnesota game is in 65 days. The game against Michigan in 151 days. A couple quick pieces of news before we dive into the main topic of today's show. First, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine signed an executive order on Monday to provide name, image, and likeness rights for college athletes in Ohio. And then just hours later, the NCAA Division I Council recommended implementing an interim policy that would allow athletes to profit from their NIL rights without violating NCAA rules, provided they follow any existing rules from their state and their school. There will be a vote to officially approve that on Wednesday, but it sounds like it is all coming. It is all going to be okay. Everyone is going to be able to capitalize on their NIL rights starting on Thursday, July 1st. What a week it's going to be, because there's another story that should play out Wednesday, or maybe after that, or maybe before that. The commitment of five-star defensive lineman JT Tuimoloau. That's expected to happen any day now. Tony Gerdeman and I did a special episode of Buckeye Weekly that dropped Monday morning with a full update on where that all stands right now, if you want to hear more about that. Today, though, we're going to be talking about a couple of other big-name recruits to know. My guest is Buckeye Scoop recruiting analyst Alex Gleitman. He's been very busy getting updates on the guys who visited Ohio State last weekend. There are a lot of interesting names and recruitments to talk about there. But first, Alex, I am contractually obligated to ask you the latest you're hearing on JT Tuimoloau and where he may be leaning right at this exact moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And if you have the answer to that, you could do a lot with it and probably make a lot of money with it. No, but in all seriousness, I think it's just an imminent decision at this point. I personally kind of always, with the holiday coming up, always expected him to end up enrolling and moving out to wherever he's going to go right after the 4th of July this coming weekend. I still think that that's probably a likely timing and scenario. I do expect an announcement sometime this week. Some people were saying Wednesday. We had heard, a couple nights ago at this point. So, if it happens today, I wouldn't be shocked if it dragged out through, the weekend at some point. That wouldn't be surprising either. But I do expect a decision sometime this week. And right now, all the things I'm hearing point to Ohio State being the pick over Oregon, Washington, and USC. I definitely don't think it's Washington and USC. I think it's Ohio State or Oregon. We had been talking about Ohio State and Alabama for so long. He goes on the Ohio State visit, immediately to the Oregon visit, which is kind of on his way home anyway. Decides not to take the Alabama visit. A lot of people probably assume, he's going to Oregon. He just went to Oregon, and now he called off the Alabama visit. Like, no, I think he got home. Like, do I really want to get on this plane, go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, when I know where I'm going already? And I think it's Ohio State. I'd be pretty surprised if Oregon went from what we were hearing as third in this race and jumped both Alabama and Ohio State with just one visit there. So I'm sticking with Ohio State as my pick.
As Nevada Buck has said, timing these things is always tricky, but if you are looking for some kind of timing, it should be before next Tuesday if he's coming to Ohio State, very likely, because Tuesday, July 6th is when the next summer mini semester, I think it's summer 3, starts. You have to be enrolled by Tuesday, July 6th in classes. Otherwise, you need to get special written permission from professors to enroll in classes. That's according to the OSU registrar's website. This is the kind of stuff you end up looking at when you're talking about a 5-star player who's enrolling at the very last minute. So yes, that is all potentially going on. But if you're looking for some sort of a hard out on the timeline, that's probably a pretty good one. You should know before Tuesday, July 6th. And, he has to fly cross country and get moved in and all that kind of stuff. So it's probably going to be, end of this week does sound like a very reasonable timeline to then have the holiday weekend to move at the very latest. So, all right, on to the rest of the show. Let's start with 5-star cornerback Jaheim Singletary. There has been a lot of talk about him potentially flipping to Georgia or another school. He visited Ohio State last weekend on his official. Did Kerry Coombs and the staff do enough to have him at least a little more solidly in the Ohio State class right now?
I mean, from what I'm hearing, I think they did a great job. Jaheim had an excellent time at Ohio State. He felt like he really fit in, really jived with the other guys on campus, the staff, the players. It was a home run visit. There's no doubt about it. Great time, his first time at Ohio State. I think they did enough to feel like the situation is at bay right now. But from talking to people inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center and some other sources that know Jaheim, I think that everyone expects this to be a little bit of a adventure with some twists and turns through signing day. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts showing up to like a Florida game in the fall, or hits a Georgia game and you see him, some of these like secret visits or whatever it is. I wouldn't be surprised if he if he continues to take some visits and feel some things out. And I don't think Ohio State's going to rest easy at night until his signature is on a letter of intent. But I do right now have him signing with Ohio State. I think they did a really good job this weekend of making him feel good, at least for now. But I think there's still a way to go.
Well, let's bounce right to another currently committed corner from Florida. Very much the same story. Ryan Turner, kind of very similar to Singletary, committed, but there were some concerns about how solid that commitment really is. If you want to see Bill Green find out about those concerns in real time, go watch the video. Bill Green's South Florida Gurus. His guys dropped that on him in real time, and it was that was fascinating to watch play out in person. But I mean, how much concern is there about Ryan Turner and his solidity in this class coming out of that weekend? Was that kind of the same thing where they may have solidified that?
I would say, like, honestly, same exact deal, but I'm almost like a little bit more confident in Singletary than Ryan Turner. Something's a little fishy. Like, there's rumors like he might have visited Florida in the middle of the week before visiting Ohio State, or he's going to visit Florida. And that's just, I don't know. It just has a weirder feel to it. I think that, again, great visit. He had taken us come up to Ohio State on his own and taken a self-guided visit before committing. So that shows you how, serious he was, spending his own money to come up to Columbus when he couldn't even meet with the staff to visit and check out the school before deciding to go ahead with a commitment. I think, again, they feel good right now, but is he going to visit Florida at some point? Is he going to visit some other schools? Wouldn't surprise me. So right now I have Ryan Turner signing with Ohio State, but both guys, I would say, let's wait until the ink dries on their letter of intent before we truly feel good about them.
Bill Green always talks about those Florida recruitments, and it's, when they're committed, it just means you're in their top three. That's always fun ones to follow. Great Tinder or fun great fodder. That's what I was looking for. Fodder for the message boards. Another one I wanted to talk to you about, Cam Dewberry out of Texas. He is someone who came into the weekend with a lot of people not sure how interested he really was in Ohio State. And then conversely, how likely it was that he was really a take for Ohio State. And I mean, it sounds like maybe both of those questions got answered over the weekend.
Yeah, I think he checked both boxes. We were talking about it in our Scoop chat yesterday, and Mark said at one point that it's almost a reverse of Andre Walker, where people in Texas just keep saying he really likes Ohio State. He really likes Ohio State. And you're kind of like, he's never coming to Ohio State. Like, he'll go to Texas A&M. And with Andre Walker out of Cleveland, Glenville, it was like, he really loves USC. He wants to get away from Ohio. And no one really believed it. They thought he'd sign with Ohio State. And what did he do? He signed with USC. And Cam Dewberry keeps throwing out the dreaded dream school line. He told me this was the best visit he's ever had. And I truly believe the kid. I think Ohio State is where he wants to be. And to your point, I think, seeing him in person, meeting him, it was just as much of an interview with him as it was for Ohio State. And I think they view him as a tackle, which makes it a lot easier of a decision for sure. There's a lot of those interior guys they have to decide on over here in the next few months and decide who they're going to push on. But being a tackle, how much he's interested, he's a good kid, good player. I think he's a take for Ohio State. And I mean, right now, I wouldn't say I'm ready to put a pick in, even though we don't have that system on our site yet. But if we had a magical orb of wonderment tool and I had to put a pick in, I would put in Ohio State as the pick. But let's see how the visit, excitement kind of wears off a little bit and how things settle down.
And, the question for the class of 2022 on the offensive line for Ohio State is left tackle, because they have a bunch of guys who are, probably interior guys, but maybe they could kick out to right tackle. Do you have a sense that he's a left tackle versus a right tackle, or is that just kind of up in the air right now?
I think it's up in the air. They'll obviously give him a shot to do both. But we'll see. I would say get him on campus, see how he moves, let Coach Mick get his hands on him. I mean, he's a little bit, I think he's like 6'4", 330, something like that. Maybe a little lighter, but he has like that right tackle interior, like measurables, if you will, traditionally, but like there's guys like Jamarco Jones, I thought was going to be an inside guy all the way, and he is in the NFL. But like in college, those guys sometimes are just good enough to play on the outside. And not only did Jamarco play tackle, he played left tackle at Ohio State. So I say just get him on campus and let's see, especially once Mick gets him in really good shape, how good can he move on the left side? But, either way, I do think he's a tackle.
All right. And what about Chris McClellan? He's on the defensive side of the ball, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. And, you never bet against Larry Johnson in an official visit. So he didn't sound like he was probably had Ohio State at the very top of his list going into the visit. Like, where do things stand with him right now?
Yeah, I think he's in. I think it was a great visit. I think Florida was the leader coming in, and I think Ohio State not only leaped Florida, but made this kid shut it down. And I would expect, honestly, I won't be surprised if by the time this video comes out on YouTube that Chris McClellan's a commit. Probably not, based on I know when you posted, Tom. But I wouldn't be shocked if at some point today he is a commitment. If not, by the end of the weekend is when I'm expecting some good news for Ohio State there.
All right. Well, sounds like I need to hurry up and get this edited and posted. So I will let you go on that one. And then, but let's make it clear. Alex had updates on all those guys we just talked about, but a ton more visitors from over the weekend, including top 50 edge rusher Ine White, 5-star top 10 defensive lineman Gabe Dindy. But you want to know how those things went? Well, you got to be a member of Buckeye Scoop to read those because they are on our Ask the Insiders board. So sign up today to become a member at buckeyescoop.com. It has been a lively week on our Ask the Insiders board as our thread on the JT Tuimoloau commitment has it's way over 1,000 posts and 110 or 120,000 page views and just, crazy numbers. Lots and lots of people weighing in, sharing their thoughts, asking our insiders what they think, what we're hearing. We're keeping you posted on everything we're hearing as it comes out. So you get that, plus you get all the access to our fantastic team of insiders. That is all on our Ask the Insiders board at buckeyescoop.com. And if you sign up to become a member today, you also get a chance to win Nevada's tickets to the Oregon game, 4 tickets to the Oregon game. He's given those away to someone who is a Buckeye Scoop member before July 4th. So you got to sign up today or sometime before, Sunday? So you're running out of time. Sign up today at buckeyescoop.com. Also want to let you know our YouTube channel. You don't have to be a member there. Just sign up, just subscribe. YouTube.com/Buckeye Scoop. We post all of our podcasts there. Mark Givler has been on the road down in Florida last week. He's going to the Elite 11 camp to go see Quinn Ewers in person later this week. There's going to be a bunch of real good content on that site, on that YouTube channel, and it is all free. But here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go there, youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop, and hit subscribe, and then you get notified every time we post a new video. So as we're posting our, as JT Tuimoloau commits, I bet we're going to have some instant reaction shows. As Mark is covering Quinn Ewers in person, I bet he's going to have some really interesting videos and some interviews and all that. So that is all going to be this week at youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. Alex drops his podcast Around the Oval. That's posted there as well. Really good, really good interview show with recruits and other people to know in the college football world. That's all at youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. But you have to subscribe to get notified every time we post a new video. That way you won't miss anything. How easy is that? Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great day. We will talk to you tomorrow.